Hello, everybody. LaRon Henderson here, Collective for Youth Program Quality Director. Hey, I just want to stop by and talk with you just for a few minutes about our external or our internal assessment process this year. As you have heard, this year, we will be doing one external assessment. We'll have someone come in who is a reliable assessor coming in the month of March to do an external assessment. But before that, we're going to do quality checks. We're going to do four different quality checks throughout the year that you all are going to do. Either the manager or the site director or someone on the staff, assistant site director, you're going to be providing or you're going to be doing those quality checks just to make sure, one, everybody's online, the quality looks good, if there's things that you need to work on, if there's training that you need, all those different things. But all of that is going to come from you. The coaching of that is going to come from you. The implementation of that is going to come from you, okay? So I want to give you a couple of just simple tools or simple tricks to make that happen. Now, when you go in, you'll be using one of these, the youth or the school age. The good thing about the assessment this year is safe environment. It's the same if you're youth or your school age. So you don't have to worry. So this is going to be simple. Now, when we get into supportive, interactive, and engagement, I'll be doing not two different videos, but I'll be showing you two different tools on what to look for in all of those different things so that there's no confusion. All right, does that make sense? So the first thing you have to do is you have to look at the master calendar, and know when we're putting those in or when you're supposed to do these. I usually give you a week or two to make those happen. Now, the good thing about it is we have a Sam Weiss on our staff has put together an excellent tool for you to use that all you have to do is put your scores in. You're just going to put your scores in. We're going to tally all those up just to check with us. All right, but there's specific dates. I'll be sending out emails and talking a lot more about the dates, the time, if you need help, all those different things. So you're not going to have to record anything. You're not going to have to do anything like that. It's basically you going in and doing this check. And this first one is very, very, very easy. All right. So I'm going to get right into the tool. I'm sure you're going to have some questions, but just make sure you ask. All right. So let me get right back into it. Let me share. We're going to start off. This is the tool. It's an electronic tool. I can send that to you if you'd like. But the first thing that you're going to look at in your programs is emotional safety. The psychological and emotional safety, or that psychological and emotional safety is promoted. Now, read something right out of this book. If you have it, you'll be able to see it. This item assesses the climate, the general feel of the social and emotional environment. Okay, now they put this at the very beginning, but you can look at the environment throughout the time. Questions: do the youth and the staff respect each other? Do people get along? Are there lots of conflicts? Do youth include others in activities? That's a big one. There's no magic pill that establishes a positive climate, and indeed, it is not completely in the control of the youth worker, okay? Not control, okay? But the climate begins with the staff setting a positive tone, modeling positive climate, and encouraging youth to do the same, okay? Now, this is at the beginning of the tool. That does not necessarily mean that you have to go in and look, but you will be able to go in and feel, okay, wow, there's a positive climate here. The emotional balance is good. You will be able to do that. So you're looking for two things, and it's really in people. The first thing is 1, 3, and 5. As a 5, or with the 5, the emotional safety is the emotional climate of the session is predominantly positive. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but is it positive? Now you can look. It says mutually respectful, relaxed, supportive, characterized by teamwork, camaraderie, inclusiveness, and the absence of negative behavior. Now, in some of your programs, you may see some joking going on. You have to determine, is that appropriate? Is that not? But here's the fear. If we're joking and some of it can be a little bit edgy, you never know what a kid is going to go home with. They may be laughing inside, they may be laughing on the outside, but crying on the inside because they're seriously hurt because someone made fun of them, someone made fun of their hair, all those different things. And then we're looking for lack of bias. If there's no bias, what that means, there's mutual respect for and inclusion of others in different religions, ethnicity, class, gender, ability, appearance, sexual orientation. You're going to know in your programs, and I encourage you to look throughout, you're going to know if there is evidence of bias. Now, it is not an indictment to say if you don't see it, or if you see it, to go ahead and talk about it, because I would hate for it to start early. That's why we're doing these things early. I would hate for it to start early and you have this crazy bias in your program, but no one ever addresses it. And now people are in their feelings, not a good thing. So that's emotional safety. That's the first thing we're going to look at. Second thing we're going to look at, the physical environment, healthy environment. Is the physical environment safe and free from hazards? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. You're going to be able to look. The program space is free from health and safety hazards. The program space is clean and safe and sanitary. Ventilation and lighting are adequate in the program space. And the temperature is comfortable for all activities in the program space. Now, what are you looking for? Very, very simple. If there is an activity going on in the cafeteria and they're playing a sport or they're doing something, that's not necessarily safe. But the overall environment of what you're looking at, is it safe, free from hazards? Can kids get hurt? Do you have to call 911? All those different things. Is it clean and sanitary? If there's a bunch of junk because a teacher left the room messy, then we got to fix that. Ventilation and lighting. Some students are always going to say that they're cold. Okay, so if you go in and you see that the kids have their jackets on, or they're trying to take off their clothes, I don't necessarily think you should take off your clothes, but if they're trying to make themselves comfortable, that's a big difference. So some of that is out of your control, but you can go in and see if there's trash on the floor. You can pick those things up. You can make it clean. You can make it less happy. That's healthy environment. All right, I'm going to move on. Emergency preparedness. Appropriate emergency procedures and supplies are present. This is a big one. Now, the first one, written emergency procedures are posted in plain view. In most of the classrooms, either in the cafeteria, the gym, or a classroom, there's going to be some procedures: tornado, fire drill, all those different things. Active shooter, all those different things are going to be very, very present. You just got to know where they are. All right. Is there a charged fire extinguisher? Now, you can look in the hallway, you can look in the room, if you're in the gym, in the cafeteria, all those different things. If it's there, it's a 5. But as a 3, at least one charged fire extinguisher is accessible, but not in plain view. Okay, it may be hidden, it may be someplace. Okay, you have to look at all those things. If you can see it, great, give it a 5. If you can see it, if you know it's in there, but you don't know where it is, that's a 3. But if there's absolutely zero fire extinguishers, you never know. It's a 1. All right. First aid kit. Now, is there a first aid kit present? Now, a first aid kit could be in the activity book that you have provided for the providers or someone from the outside. There may be a baggie. I don't have a baggie. I have a baggie, but I don't have a baggie. A baggie that has gauze, ointment, Band-Aids, whatever it is, it could be in there. Or it could be a real first aid kit. It's all up to you and what you feel comfortable, but it's very simple. Are there things for minor issues, if kids get into it, if they bump their knee, if they scrape their hand, or whatever it is, are you able to take care of that with the first aid kit that you have? I encourage you to either make your own first aid kit or just go and go to Walmart and get some of those packets, get some of those very simple packets. If it's there, great, 5. If it's there, but you can't see it, 3. If it's not, if it's nowhere to be found, it should be in every program space. If it's nowhere to be found, then that's a 1. All right. So number 4, other appropriate safety and emergency equipment. Okay. Most of the time, this is going to be an X. That means if you have someone in a wheelchair, if you're, you have someone in a wheelchair, there's some special safety things that need to be done. If not, put an X there. Okay. Our entrances to the indoor space supervised. Now, everyone that I know of, every program that I've been in, they either have a security guard, they have a police SRO, or they have someone sitting in where people are coming in, getting checked in and checked out. All the rest of the doors in the building, in the program, are shut, closed, locked. You can't get in if you don't have a key. Okay, or if you don't have a badge. So you want to make sure. So a 5 is going to be all entrances to the indoor program space are supervised for security during program hours. There should be absolutely zero buildings that do not have a supervised security person, someone being paid or someone, that's the rule. And then access to outdoor spaces, if you're outside, if you have a back door, just making sure all of those things. It is access, here's what it says, is access to the program space supervised. If there is no outdoor program space, do not rate it, put an X. Okay, so you'll be able to see that. If you're in a program, you're in a classroom, that's it. So that is emergency preparedness. Accommodating environment, very, very simple. This part, you are looking for, are there chairs, are there tables? Is the space adequate? Can you change those around? So program space allows children and staff to move freely while carrying out activities. Okay, if that's the case, it's a 5. The program space is suitable for all activities offered. Okay, furniture, room, support small or large groups, all those different things. That's a 5. Okay, furniture is comfortable and sufficient and of sufficient quantity for all children participating in the program. All right. Now, there's a little note there that says if there's no furniture or none required, do not rate it. Just put an X. Boom. Okay. The physical environment. The physical environment can be modified to meet the needs of program offering. Okay. If there's no furniture, X. Okay. But can the furniture be moved? If it can be moved, it's flexible. And then the last one, the furniture is appropriate to children's physical size and is available for all children served. Okay, very, very simple there. If you have big kids sitting in little bitty chairs, that's a problem. But if there's no furniture, just put an X. All right, that's accommodating environment. I hope this is making sense, but it's something that you can do, that you can go in and you can train your folks to do. You can even show them this video. The last one, healthy food and drink is provided. Now, we always get messed up. We know that in every program that we have across OPS, there is a meal served, okay? So here's a couple questions. Very, very simple. As a 5, I'm just gonna give you the 5s. Drinking water is available and accessible and easily accessible to the children. Is there a drinking fountain somewhere? Okay, is there a drinking fountain? Either in the room or outside the room. If you're in a room and there's a sink, are there cups available? If you're in the cafeteria and there's a big water jug, are there cups available? Drinking water is available and easily accessible to all children. All right. Now, if you're outside doing something, it's a little bit different. There may not be water easily accessible, but there's water. So that'd be a 3. Okay. Now, food. It says food and drink are plentiful and available at appropriate times for children during the session. We know that all kids get a meal. They have the opportunity to get a meal. Okay. This does not mean that they brought their own food. Now, if you have a program where kids are bringing their own food, That's a whole different story. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that, not unless it's a good time, but there's a meal being provided. So if you walk into the program and you see they're having corn dogs and they have some milk and they have some corn and they have a bag of hot Cheetos, okay, I'd have a conversation. I'd have a conversation. If the meal or snack is not necessary because of the structure of the program offering, do not rate it. So if you don't see any food, just put an X. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to help you. All right. And then the third one, available food and drink is healthy. We are going to assume, I'm putting a smile on my face. Let me lick my lips, put a smile on my face. We know that the food that we get from OPS, the federal government, we know that it is healthy. We know that it is well balanced, and we know that the kids can eat it. Okay. My standard or your standard of what good food is, that's really not up to us. We know they get a good meal. Okay. But we know if no food or drink is served, you don't rate it. Just put an X. All right. That's the tool. That's the tool. Those are the three. Nourishment, accommodating environment, emergency preparedness, and healthy environment. That's the first part. All right. Let me get out of here. That's the first part. You are going to go in, you're going to take your tool, you're going to rate all those different things. You or your site director going to do that. And then I'm going to give you a link of where to put those. And so you're going to track them. You're going to score them. You can even give us the evidence of what you saw. But with safe environment, it's all about safe environment. I will say this. Over the last 7 years that we've been doing program quality assessments across the board, if it's a provider or if it's an agency, school-based site, our safe environment has been very, very high, rated high. We know that we provide a safe place for the kids, and we know that providing a safe place for the kids is going to raise their level of engagement. It's going to raise their level of safety, and they're going to be more comfortable. And the parents are going to be more comfortable leaving their children with us. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be sending this out to you I'm going to be sending this out to you so that you can either show your staff or you can use it yourself. But if you have any questions, contact me. All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again.